And we're live. Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. Shout out to the people going out to well, hold on. Shout out to Darlene Walter Riley. Good morning. Thank you for being here bright and early. Chris Royals, thank you for being here bright and early. Lomo, Nature Man, good morning. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work. Extra special big up shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay-at-home moms and pops, my retirees. Shout out to every single clean-hearted, good-hearted person who wants good for others as much as you want good for yourself. Shout out to you. Shout out to my drivers, especially my Uber driver, Lyft driver, taxi driver, cab driver, delivery driver, truck drivers. Shout out to Troy Stars Trucking Vlogs on YouTube. All right, big up on yourself, people, and welcome in this morning. We got a couple of things we're going to talk about this morning. So, first of all, let me say good morning to everybody that is here. Laurel Newman, Alicia, Thornhill, Main One, the Knicks Cave, Jan Mitchell, Sonia Unstoppable, Angie Wright, Sandy B, Alfred Benjamin, Andrea Humphrey, Sash, good morning, Motivational No, up, good morning. June O'Brien, good morning, and Browning Stewart, Cynthia Gooding, Laurel Newman, Cliff Lindsay. All right, the names continue. Kimberly Wilson, Carolyn Scott, if I didn't call your name, it's because you entered the classroom late, all right? This is a classroom where we have some fun and we share information and, we laugh and we talk and these kind of things early in the morning because it's important to start your day out right. Kind of determines how the rest of your day is going to go. All right, big up on yourself. So this morning we're going to talk about the Super Bowl and why I did not watch the Super Bowl. We're also going to talk about a little story I seen on MSN.com. You can go read that story for yourself. I'll get into that more in a minute. The Gorilla Hair Glue Girl, or the Gorilla Glue Hair Girl. We're gonna talk about she in a little bit, and nurses, CNAs, those in the nursing field. Big up and extra big up. I have a video clip this morning where we're going to look at a nurse, a CNA, home health attendant, one of those along the lines of, and what she's going through on the job. In my cup this morning is green tea. All right. Sipping some green tea, putting in some antioxidants. All right, let's kick it off. So first, let me say a shout out to the nurses and all you people. Do I have any nurses in here this morning? Anybody that works in that field, not just a nurse, but if you're a therapist, if you are a CNA, if you are to be specific about your title, if you're a CNA, if you are a home health aide, any of those in the audience this morning, big up to you, man. I know your job is not easy at all, especially those of you who work with like the elderly. See? So let's start off with this video clip. And I want you to observe, for those of you who might not have any idea what this line of work entails, I'm going to give you something to savor right now. So watch this video clip right here, right? This is a sister at work. All right. Personal support worker in Canada. Watch this. I know you probably can't see it too good. Let me ready up the clip again. You didn't see the first part. Watch. Watch this. Watch this. She just spat on her, you know. All right, man, I get tired now. Okay, so for those of you who didn't really see it, because my hand's getting tired, the computer is way over there. I'm mean, stretching a whole out like this. So first of all, shout out to Jamaica YouTube TV. Big up yourself, brother, and continue to put in the work. Your channel will grow. So what you just saw was that's the lady that she's taking care of, right? And the lady spat on her. The lady, the sister is not doing anything. She's just washing dishes, cleaning up the place. And imagine the person that hired you to work there, or the person you're supposed to be taking care of. She just come and she spat on her once, and the sister looked at her. She didn't say anything. She wiped it off. She spat. She got closer and spat in her face the next time. She wiped that off. The old lady asked her, "You want this too? You want this too?" This is the tissue that she's been blowing her nose with all day, walking around. You know when their nose running and they walk around with a piece of tissue, and sometimes you'll see them go, and they'll spit it in that tissue, and they'll wrap the tissue up, and they'll keep that tissue with them, wipe their nose with it while their nose is running. I want to put you in the mind frame, okay? This is a what would you do kind of, this is a what would you do kind of situation. That's why I start the video out by saying, shout out to the women or the people, men do it too, in the nursing world. And that entails the nurses, whether you are a RN, LPN, a CNA, home health aide, that kind of stuff. Shout out to them because their work is something else. And I work in that field as well. So I said, shout out to the therapists as well, because the therapist, believe it or not, has to put up with the same things. If I'm in a building for 8 hours out of the day doing this type of work, doing therapy work, I am around CNAs and nurses, LPNs, RNs, and doctors pass through, but they're not there all throughout the day, right? And we work together, because sometimes I have to say to a CNA like, hey, you know what time Miss Jones will wake up? Because I got to get her on my in for therapy. Do you know what time Miss Jones is going to wake up? And she'll probably say, why? Is she on your therapy list? And I'll say, yes, I'd like to see her in an hour after I'm finished with Mrs. So-and-so. And then that CNA would go and make sure Miss Jones is up and dressed fully and ready for therapy, get whatever medication she's supposed to take, and be ready for therapy. When I come around again, I can say, all right, Miss Jones, you're ready to go, right? So we work together. We go through the same thing. This video is so big up to all of them. This video right here is, it's a what would you do? What would you do? I've went to work before, right? And I don't know, you can share your stories this morning. I even have the phone lines open if you want to call in and share a story. So I went to work once, not once, but I've had this happen many times. I'm going to give you one of the situations, or maybe more. I remember the first time I walked into a facility and I heard, hey, nigger boy. I thought he said, hey, little boy. Now, mind you, in this environment, you can't just go, I should have me. I should have me. That's what my inside is saying. I don't know if y'all remember the old video where Twine put up where he was like, I should have, man. I can't. That's the first thing that comes to your mind, but you can't do it. You got to remain professional at all times, and you have to keep your professional bearings. I thought I heard, "Hey, little boy," so I was gonna say I'm not a little boy, but may I help you or something? It was, "Hey, nigger boy," "Hey, nigger boy," and I was like, "What the fuck?" I thought, pardon my language. I'm like, did he just say little boy? And I didn't have to wonder for much longer because he then kept repeating it. Hey, nigger boy. Hey, nigger boy. And it became clearer and clearer. And that was the first time. And I had just graduated school, my first facility I'm working at. And that's the first thing I ran into. So I know they go through it on a daily basis. There was another one. I've had one try to spit on me. I literally had to like dodge the spit. I'm at work in my scrubs, right? Dodging spit. I had to dodge the spit. And I dodged the spit. And I just leave the room. Once I make sure that they're secure, like they're not falling out of the bed or whatever, I leave the room and I go call somebody else, right? Or stay at the room door and call somebody else for help. I've had patients where I approached them before. One lady said, and you got to understand, I can't give location of facility and patient name. Those of you who work in the health field, you know that as well, right? This is not Jamaica where we can just say everybody business. And so you can't do all that. I've had one lady, I went and I said, good morning, so-and-so from the therapy team. I'll be your therapist for today. Are you ready to go? May I try sound enthusiastic and upbeat and motivate her to go do therapy? Are you ready to go? And she goes, no. I said, what's up? HIPAA. Thank you. Thank you, Danny D. She goes, no. I said, I'm trying to motivate her. It's my job to motivate them to do their therapy. And a lot of the times they're down when you go to their room. Hey, I'm so-and-so from the therapy staff. I'll be your therapist for today. Are you ready to go? And she goes, no. I said, why no? She said, because you're a nigga with an ER at the end. I said, and you're caught off guard. So the first thing you say is, oh, okay. So in other words, then you don't want to do therapy with me, right? Would you prefer another therapist? In my mind, I'm saying all kinds of other shit, but I can't. So if I did me, I could have me. I couldn't do nothing. Tell you straight to your face, I don't want to do therapy with you. Why? Because you're a nigga. And I have to hold my composure and go back to the lead therapist and say, hey, Mrs. So-and-so said she does not want to do therapy with me because I am the N-word. And they'll be like, okay, so let's see if we can switch her over to, they're just like, wow, she said that? Oh man. Okay, let's switch her over to so-and-so, another therapist schedule, and see who we can get from their schedule to switch over that might want to work with you instead. Now, mind you, I'm taking these contracts way out in some far places where this has been their lifestyle for a long time. And I also think that I know that when the Alzheimer's and dementia kicks in, an old part of themselves comes back. Yeah. So they remember back in the day. One day I walked into work and I heard, I'm getting ready to work with my client. The CNA's already got him up, got him dressed, because we work together, you know what I'm saying? Got him up, got him dressed, put him in the therapy room. I'm ready. I walk in the therapy room and I heard, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Hang a nigga by his toe. So they're very inappropriate like that. It's the part of their brain that usually, that part of your brain that still works, that makes you say, I'm thinking it, but I won't say it out loud. In your mind, you're able to think you're big idiot, but in your face, you can still say, yeah, man, everything good, man. Wish you all the best. Blessings. Yeah. You can't, that part of their mind is gone. It's gone. It's affected. So the filter is knocked out, as we say, and everything is just coming through. So you get what you get. This is the reason why. This is also the reason why people from that demographic, they are easy to like be scammed over the phone and all that. Steve Rudolph Jr., good morning. Thank you. Steve Rudolph Jr. says, I finally made it to the morning thoughts. Blessings from the Bronx, SouFLoTV. Manners and respect, and big up my whole New York family. All right, big up the Bronx. Listen, you can't, that part of their filter is knocked out. They just say whatever they want to say. And 5, 10, 15 minutes or an hour later, that will be the sweetest person you ever met. They're back to themselves. And then them chip off again, right? That's how they are. So people outside of that, they're like, when they see a video like that, they're like, I would have, like, listen, I seen one comment that says, I would have uppercut. I would have landed an uppercut, or I would have this, or I would have that. I have a family member who told me that a lady did that to her, and she waited until everybody left, and she a wet one, and opened her mouth and dropped it in there. And she said from the day she did that, that woman never did that to her again. And she always used to do it, like try to spit at her, and she would like have to like jump from spit. But they kept sending her to work, even though she is documenting that this is happening. They kept sending her with the same client. So she said, okay, I met my money. I'm going to do what I have to do around her, but stay far enough away from her. She said the lady kept doing it. One of the days, then the spit liquor, right? That's up, and just slide down her face. And she said, I was so shocked. Even though she tries to do it all the time, this day she was up close working on her. I think giving her a bed bath, she said, or something. And the lady just hark one, wet the side of her face. And she stood there, thought, I'm going to get you back. She said the first thing, and she knew that day she was going to. She said it took God to actually hold her hand back, because her instant reaction was to just land a punch. And then she had to come to her senses with her professional bearings and just hold that on the side of your face. Could you imagine somebody in 2021 says to you, nigger, and it wet your right there? So she waited till everybody left, held her down, and she was like, and held her down. I gave it to her. I'm not saying that I would do that, and I'm not saying that I would do that, and I'm not encouraging anybody to do that. I have never done that, matter of fact. But, however, it's one of those cases where if you don't know, you don't know. And people in this line of work, these are the things that they go through. So for those of you who didn't know, you see your family member when they're going off to work, if they work in this line of work, tell them every day, say, big up yourself, man. I appreciate you, because enough people not doing it. Not doing it. They're like, they don't pay me enough to go through that. I don't care. I'm not doing it. Give me something else to do. So big up. Oh, last one. I remember one said to me, change my diaper. I said, I don't change diapers, but I can help you. I can get someone to help you to change your diapers. Change my diaper, boy. I said, I'll be right back. Let me go get somebody to help you to change your diaper. And I hit the bedside bell, because they have a light in these homes. Most of them, all of them are supposed to have a help light. So when you hit the help light, there's a light that goes off in their room, and there's a light at their door. So any medical staff that's walking through the hallways can see the light flashing at that door. Someone inside that room needs help. So I hit the light, and it also goes off at the nursing station. So all the nurses at the station knows it's room 37 again, or it's room 215 again, right? So I hit that, went out, and I went to go get her somebody to help her. But when they're like, she's like, why didn't you change my diaper? I told you to change my diaper. So I explained to her, because I went back with the aide, and I explained to her, I said, I'm from the therapy team. I do therapy. I don't change diapers. But if you have therapy, we might be working together. Come here, try soften up the ground, because that person might very well end up on my therapy list. And then when I go to say, hey, good morning, you ready for therapy? They'll meet me with a, hell no, get out of my room. I told you to change my diaper. You didn't change my diaper. You left me here and shit. That's just how they are, right? So I enjoy working with this population of people because it gives me an insight as to where I might be at some point in life. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you changed my diaper, you left me here and shit. Oh, I want to do a therapy with you. So I went back to smooth things over and let her know who I was exactly in the building. She looked at me and said, therapy? Oh, so they send you to school now? You getting educated now? I just left. I went in there to smooth things over and got, oh, you getting educated now. Use. They got y'all in school now. I said, lady, I just left. But that's the line of work. And I'm very familiar with it. So big up to CNA them. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. When I say these things in the morning time, this is a place of where these things come from. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the CNAs, the RNs, the LPNs, the home health aides. All of y'all, you know what this is. And of course, the therapists that are out there that put up with the madness is just the same. They sending y'all to school now. Y'all getting educated now. Change my diaper. Boy, I tell you, big up CNA and all medical staffs. Very well put, Mrs. Nia. Just like that. Just like that. My green tea. All right, so let's get past that one, right? Let's get past that one. Change my diaper. If I did me. Gorilla Glue. The girl that put the Gorilla glue in her hair. I promise I won't spend more than 5 minutes on this one because we got more important things to talk about. Let me say this before I go to the Gorilla Glue girl stuff. Man, we live in a world where people are going through it and you don't know who is who. Sometimes when I say stuff like, you see you women, especially you women that have children, you have children, your relationship didn't last with the father, you're now a single mom, essentially, with your kids to raise, right? Don't be in a hurry to bring a man into your house. A lot of y'all are lonely, and I get it. We're humans, we get lonely, but when you start making certain decisions in life, like to have children, when you start making decisions to have children, that takes on a whole different ballgame, okay? You now have to be committed to those children more than you are to your front. You have to be committed to those children's needs more than you are to your sexual needs or your desire for intimacy, that kind of thing. Some women are so quick to just move a man into the house with their children, and we see this happen all the time. Mommy's strange boyfriend come in, she just left daddy, strange boyfriend coming in, and now he's molesting off the daughters in the house or our son, something like that. A story broke yesterday, right? And the story is on msn.com. I'm telling you where I got the story from, so you can go read all the details of the story. The headline of the story was, woman comes home to find her 3 sons shot, boyfriend arrested. Now this woman was married, right? And she had 3 children. 3 children bear the last name of her husband. She was in a full relationship, married and everything, set up family. It didn't work out. She left. She got into a relationship with a guy and moved straight in. Now, I got to think that maybe they were messing around while she was married. You know that part of the relationship where you're like, it's done anyways. So him now left, me now left, so I might as well. And I met somebody that I like. Me and him now sleep together. You know them one day where they're probably sleeping in different rooms, even though I don't buy it. But that kind of situation. Anyhow, she moved in with Newman, right? Newman, you see what Newman did? This Newman ends up executing her children. Two of them are dead. One's fighting for his life. I think the one that survived, he tried to shoot him in the head, ended up shooting the kid in the face, and it went through one side of his jaw, broke up everything in his mouth, and came out the other side. That kid is, of course, your mouth's gonna swell, your airway is completely blocked. So that kid is fighting for his life. They're asking, what happened? Did y'all fight before this and he took it out on the kids or whatever? Listen, that man probably thought the girl used me as babysitter. Talking about she going to run errands. The girl said we had no arguments, no fight, there was no bad vibe, nothing. I told him, I said, I'm gonna go watch the kids for a little bit. I'm gonna go run errands for an hour. I'll be back. And he was fine with it. And I left to go run my errands for an hour. I was heading back home. And this is what I walked into. That's it. Just like that. No argument, no fight, no, she had not a clue. Not a clue. Or so she says. This man probably find out that them 1 hour there, yeah, watch the kids. I'm going to run errand for an hour. Could you imagine he found out that it's actually the father of the children that she's going to spend this 1 hour with because him still a Bennett and beat it and that kind of stuff. And he's like, oh, you trying me. You trying me. So you pick me up now to help you take care of these kids and raise these kids. And I'm here watching kids while you going back to, okay, and executed the kids. You don't know who you're getting into that quick, literally who you're getting into that quick. So sometimes when you don't have children in the house, it's a sacrifice that you're going to have to make at a point where you say, listen, I'm not going to date anybody, or if I do, it's going to be on the outside and they're not going to be introduced to my children. Matter of fact, if you have children, you shouldn't be introducing lovers to your children. Your children are going to see a pattern of, well, mommy introduced John and that lasted for 2 weeks. Now she's introducing James. Or even for the fathers, daddy introduced Kerry and a month later he's introducing Suzanne. And they're all like, I mean, they're the same things that mommy used to do, like sleep in the same bed with daddy. Like we hear the noises over there. It's all yours. Take it. No. And the kids are traumatized. They have to go through this and watch you change partners. And it sets up in their mind all kinds of insecurities, all kinds of issues, abandonment issues, insecurities. You're actually showing your child that nobody's going to be around for you. Your mom left. I'm doing my thing. You here on your own, right? Especially in situations where couples break up and children are involved, you have to go extra with the children because you think your breakup is you're taking it hard. These children involved are taking it extra hard, and they're children. They don't even know how to process half of what they're feeling right now. Imagine you as an adult. Missy, you know, I see y'all as an adult when y'all break up. Some of y'all cry in the shower. Some of you cry in the car going to work. You can't believe you say your thing done. Some or how wrong you were done by who you trusted or loved. You know, you cry. So you can imagine how the children process that same hurt and they feel it too. So you have to be extra careful. You can't just be bringing man in your house when you just break up from their father and that kind of stuff and introducing him stepdaddy this now. They got a stepdaddy in like a couple of weeks after leaving their dad. This could have been avoided. This could have been avoided. Nowadays, it's daily. Yeah, new uncle. The new uncle, this is Uncle so-and-so. And they're wondering, why is Uncle so-and-so always going to mom's room when it's that late at night? Like, she sends us to bed, and then he goes to her room. Dad used to go to her room. And why is Uncle coming out in the morning in his boxers? A different person every day for someone I know. And she has kids and grandchildren. Jesus, peace. No, that's living reckless. You're opening up a door, right, for people to come into your life with all their baggages. Because people carry them baggage when them come meet you. You just don't see it yet. In this case, she met a crazy. She met a psycho. She moved him in. He killed her children. Sad. Sad. So the message in that this morning is, especially for those of you who have children, you're going to have to make a sacrifice. Okay? You have to go make a sacrifice. You know what I don't like about these stories? When I do these stories, right, people are like, yeah, you always talk about the killing in Jamaica. Why not talk about some of them, something that will happen in the US? So I didn't go out of my way. But I see this also as a way of appeasing those who feel like, you live in the US, so much go on there. How come you never talk about those? So my balance the scale for you this morning. You going to take that. But my main message in this, which I've always said on the show, for anybody globally, if you are someone with children, be very, very careful who you bring around your children. Be very, very careful who you bring around your children. I have a thing that's called trust nobody. Trust nobody. And when I say nobody, I mean nobody. Some people, you could give them a little, but you still keep a sharp eagle eye on them. But trust nobody at the end of the day. My daughter now sit down in a no uncle lap. Him can't kiss her no upon her face. None of that stuff. Same thing for my son. Them not sit down in a no uncle lap. They're not spending no time with no uncle or no auntie while I go take myself, enjoy my life. None of that. Not until they reach the age, at least, where they can at least scratch somebody's face up and fight, and then or say that this happened to me here. But people are leaving their children when the poor child is not even old enough to express themselves or understand what just happened to them. And you're so trusting with your babies. Yeah, oh, come on, man. I've known him my whole life. That's Uncle Reg. And Uncle Reg is a damn pedophile. And you left your little daughter around him house, but you gone for an hour or two because you need some relief. You should have never had children then. That's the hardship of parenting. Parenting is you can't do what you want to do when you want to do it anymore. They dictate how that goes. And the best thing to do is get into some parents' activities where you can actually involve your children. If you're one of them people, then not true. You can't live this life no more where it's all about you and you have kids. The kids end up getting hurt. Them poor kids didn't expect that. Them poor kids did not expect that. The beef was between mom and her man, whatever the beef was. But you see who suffered though, right? Who's to know? This idiot probably there molesting the children and one of them say, I'm going to tell. And him just kill a whole of them. That kind of stuff. You don't know. Because like she said, there was no beef, no fight, no argument, nothing before she left the house. It's one of them, all right, babe, I'll see you when I get back. I'm going to run out real quick and take care of some stuff. And come back to that. Something happened. And he flipped. Man not just flipped, so like, kill these 3 kids. Although I've seen it happen too. Anyhow, I know. Moving right along, but please take that message, especially for those of you who have kids. And if you don't have kids, you can be an advocate too, because somebody around you have children. You're an auntie, you're an uncle, you're an older brother, sister, you're something like that, a step parent, maybe even. We could do a whole video on step parents and the do's and don'ts and the no's, the hell no's. But we're going to save that for another time. All right. Gorilla Glue Girl. Gorilla Glue Girl. This girl done took a bottle of Gorilla Glue to her head. Y'all seen it? They said she a teacher. Who's a teacher? She says she a teacher. All the newcomers for the first time on SouFLoTV, welcome aboard, especially the crew from Portmore and Portland. Portmore. Big up Portmore enough. And Portland. Big up Portmore, big up Portland. And welcome for everybody who's never been here before and you're here for the first time. All right, Gorilla Glue Girl. So this girl took a bottle of Gorilla Glue to her head. You know the first thing I said? Well, at least Gorilla Glue held her hair, because I've bought Gorilla Glue before. And I think it's like one of the fakest companies ever. A sham that made money off something that really does not work. I bought Gorilla Glue and I used it before and it couldn't hold together, not even cardboard. But it held together her hair. She used a whole bottle. She thought that that Gorilla Glue was, have y'all seen it? She thought that the Gorilla Glue was some hair gel, something, and stuck her whole head together and let that glue dry. Wet up and sop up and let the glue dry. And, and now, boy, I see her something now, because you got to think, how is she going to get that? Her hair is glued to her scalp. And I see a lawyer that I went to go check his creds. And he checked out to actually really be a practicing lawyer that's telling her that she can sue Gorilla Glue. And that Gorilla Glue, Gorilla Glue issued a statement that said, basically, it's unfortunate what happened to her, and we're glad that she's receiving some help, some medical help as is needed, and wish her all the best. That's all Gorilla Glue said. Gorilla Glue don't have nothing to do with you putting glue in your hair. You have eyesight, you can see. You empty the bottle of glue like crazy glue on your head and thought it was hair gel and glued your hair to your scalp. And the lawyer is telling her, instead of issuing an apology on social media, you could have just gave her a sponsorship. Gave her what sponsorship? Missy, her brother said, gave her a sponsorship for what? Her stupidity? Like, and boy, we just fall for every. Oh, hold up! Here he goes. He says this. Let me see if you can hear it. So that's the lawyer's statement, right? Telling her that.
I know you are not serious. I know you're not serious.
Yeah, that brother.
I know you lose cases back to back to back. If this is how you are fighting case, a sponsorship, she put industrial adhesive in her hair. You want them to sponsor her? Who are you a lawyer for? Who are you a lawyer for? How did you pass the bar? Because if you pass the bar, we need to move the bar a little bit further. Knowing hair glue in fact exists in many black people. Don't put black women in this. Don't put them in this. That was that sister's mistake. You sound ridiculous. A sponsorship deal. For what? Gorilla Glue, hair is not skin. Your product failed to adequately warn, knowing hair glue in fact exists. And many black women use hair glue as hair adhesive. And for this, your company is liable. You should have given her a sponsorship deal. Instead, you will be held accountable. I know you are not serious. I know you're not serious. Ain't no way you are. I know you lose cases back to back to back. This is how you are fighting cases.
He said, I know you lose cases back to back to back. If this is how you fighting cases, this girl put the whole bottle in her hair. But I'm glad Gorilla Glue held her hair, because Gorilla Glue is trash. It does not hold anything. Okay, that thing does not work, but it's the marketing that sells Gorilla Glue. Gorilla Glue is weak. It's not like how it's advertised. It can pick up this and that, but the whole lot here though. But there's all this truth in this. Now, let me tell you, America is a place for suing. And as much as we'll laugh, right? Much as we'll laugh, listen to what the lawyer said. He said they failed to put adequate warning, knowing that hair glue exists as well. So you should have put on your label that this hair glue, this is not hair glue, should not be used as hair glue, and put big warning. They might actually have a case. As stupid as it sounds, because it's my responsibility. I can't go in the bathroom and look for my eye stuff, because I use this eye thing, right? It's supposed to be some kind of steroid that shrinks my strap bands. So I can't go in the bathroom and pick up my toothpaste and squeeze it in my eye and then want to sue the toothpaste company, Colgate, or wherever the toothpaste come from. You have vision, yes. You're intelligent enough where you read, yes. Okay, you should have looked and read and said, read the warning. You're putting it on your body or in your person. It should be important to you. But funny is, this is the US. Do y'all remember the lady who sued, I believe it was McDonald's? McDonald's always serve hot coffee. People going to work in the morning time would slide through the drive-through, get a cup of hot coffee, and you're on your way to work. This lady slid through the drive-through, got a cup of hot coffee, spilled it in her lap, got burns, sued, and got millions. Now the coffee is not hot anymore when you go there. Now they changed the cup because back then the cup was different. Now the coffee is not hot. I went and I got a cup of coffee. Sipped the coffee. I brought the coffee back. I said, hey, this coffee is like cold almost. She said, that's the level of hot that we're allowed to serve it at. Now, if you want me to heat it up some more for you, I can do that, right? But that's you asking me to make it hotter. I said, what the madness? She said, yes, because remember the lady. And I just laughed. Same thing for Walmart. Walmart runs a deli. So you see all that meat and food and the chicken and everything that's cooked and potato wedgies and mashed potato. They used to throw that stuff out every night. Actually, what they used to do is they used to donate it to a homeless shelter every night. They had a truck that would come take all this stuff because they can't keep the food for the next day. Oh, we didn't sell this today, we can sell it tomorrow. Put it back in the fridge. That's not how they operate. They write everything off on insurance. So it's fresh food every day. Everything used to go out to a homeless shelter. A homeless man ate that food at a homeless shelter. Later on, he was throwing up, vomiting, sick, went to the hospital. This man ended up suing and he won millions of dollars as well. After that, Walmart changed its policy. Walmart no longer delivers their leftovers to a homeless shelter in the area. Walmart has big garbage bins that have big locks on them and a security camera that guards the garbage bin until their designated pickup people come pick it up and bring it to where it needs to go. And I worked at Walmart before. I watched this food go, and you're looking at the food go. So you can imagine people who work at Walmart, but they're broke. They don't have no food at home. They're like, damn, I'm hungry. I could eat some of that stuff from the deli. If you're in the back, you can watch that food go right into the dumpster. Right into the dumpster. And they throw it away now because they don't want anybody saying they gave them food and it got them sick. Because they can actually sue. And this person sued and won. So in America, you can sue for anything. Anything. I wouldn't be surprised if she actually goes up with a suit against Gorilla Glue and come away with a little something. She might not hit the jackpot, but she might come away with a little something. They might just be like, listen, just to make this all go away, put a big old warning on the bottle. And now when you go to the store and you see a bottle of Gorilla Glue, it's going to say, this is not hair glue. Big sign. And they'll probably cut a little 20, 30, 50 grand behind the scenes and sign a waiver that says it dies here, kind of thing. It happens. So she looking for a come up? Maybe. Can she get one? Maybe. Very possible. She got Yo, Mrs. Nia says there's no way you can mix up two products besides the fact that both products are in two different sections of the store. One's in the home fix-up department and another product is in the hair department. Yes, exactly. Exactly. But they can argue that out too. Because you ever been to the grocery store and you see stuff in areas where it's not supposed to be? Somebody might have picked the product up and said, over in hardware, they picked this Gorilla Glue up and they're reading it. And by the time they reach over to the hair product store because they went to get their shampoo, they're like, I don't want this. And they put it right there where the hair products are. She might have been shopping in a hurry and picked it up. Let me see. Okay, hair glue, gone. Went home because she got it from the hair glue section. Trust me, a good lawyer will make sure that she walks away with something, even if it's a little bit enough to say, okay, listen, because Gorilla Glue is huge. Their net worth is huge. And they normally pay under the table for things like these to go away instead of dragging it out in court. Was there adequate warning? Were you able to look at that product and see that it was not hair glue? No. Look at it. No. It just has a gorilla on it. I don't want to go there. I was going to say some stuff. What they probably saying in the background is, oh, because the monkey seen a gorilla on it. The monkey thought that it was that it was for them. Oh, you mother. Oh, now we got to pay. Now we got to pay. Okay. Lord, so Guyanese dog, good morning. Guyanese dog says, what is her IQ? Oh, the monkey saw the gorilla on it. The monkey thought it was for them. What? It's gorilla glue. It has a gorilla on it. Why would you think it was for you? Yo, but there could be a very lawsuit here, and a good lawyer could actually walk this through to where he might not hit the jackpot, but they'll cut a couple grams just to say, kill it, let it go away, sign this disclosure, this waiver, whatever. She has a point. She has a point. I know that she was just plain stupid. I know that, but in a court of law, that's all you need is a good lawyer that understands the law and how to flip it. You get paid, he gets paid. This is America. Welcome to America. A lot of people have came up off lawsuits. I remember when people used to go around looking for places in grocery stores to fall down. And it became a trend to the point where YouTube used to carry a lot of videos on it. This is right before, because remember, with the rise of technology came better surveillance. So some of us who grew up back in the day, because you know our kids them think we're that old. They equate me to like my grandparents' age. And you're old back in the day. So this is before. This is when the cell phone them did big, and surveillance cameras were either grainy or couldn't pick up wide angles or whatever. But YouTube used to have these videos. People used to go around, purposely find stores, walk around in the store, find a little wet spot, and they would show like a man, and they would walk you through. Okay, he found the wet spot. He's looking at it. He's thinking about it. Good place to fall. He walks down. Oh, he's coming back. Here he goes. Here he goes. And you can watch them on video. Here, and hit the wet spot. Drop just right. You hear clean up on aisle 12. Clean up on aisle 12. Somebody is down on aisle 12. Medical. Suing. I came into your store. Your floor was wet. What? That is where the big yellow cones come from. Okay? The big yellow cones is to remind you that, hey, big yellow cones with red writings on them. You can't miss it. It's to remind you, hey, something is wet around here in this area. Because they look for stuff that, and you can imagine, right? A kid go in the store, they're eating something, them drop it, drink out of them like a juice bottle. They stop, mommy, juice on the floor. The store don't see that. So people would find those spots and drop themselves for real. And a lot of people got away with a lot of money before insurance companies started cracking down on it, putting better cameras as cameras got better. Now these stores have like 1,000 cameras in them from all different angles, especially big stores like Walmart. You're not getting away with no slip and fall. It better be a genuine slip and fall, right? And they can also countersue you for fraud. So you can actually go to prison for this. But Gorilla Glue Girl, she might just go quiet. And if you see her just go quiet and don't say anything, just know that she got a check from behind the scenes. All right? Now, the one I really wanted to talk about this morning on some grown people stuff. Super Bowl was Sunday that went by. Today is what, Tuesday? Did y'all watch the Super Bowl? Who watched the Super Bowl? You watched the halftime, you got your popcorn and you sat in front of the TV, or did you make like wings and hot wings and dipping sauce and chips and dips? Who watched the Super Bowl? Watch where I'm going with this. Watch where I'm going with this. I did not care for the performer. I didn't watch it, and I didn't see anything about the Super Bowl at all. All right. So my thing is this. No, I did. So Darlene Walter Riley watched it. My team got whooped. That means Paulette Ricketts watched it. Rising Phoenix, no time. All right. Donnette Clark said she watched it. Nobody no watch it. No man, enough people watch it. Read the comment them. Some of them watch it. See that? I was at work. I never really do anyway. All right, that's enough for me to start this. Check this out. This is about why I did not watch the Super Bowl. I feel like if I watched the Super Bowl, I would have backstabbed Colin Kaepernick. I don't support anything that the NFL does anymore. And I used to watch the Super Bowl. Super Bowl is the time where I would make my hot wings and dip in sauce and do some chips and dips and these things and watch the Super Bowl. My kid plays football, so it's in my interest, right? Good time to spend time with him in something that he likes to do and all that. But I didn't watch the Super Bowl. And I haven't watched anything from the NFL since the whole Colin Kaepernick stuff. I feel like this. Somebody said, when the whole Colin Kaepernick stuff went down, that all the NFL is about 77% black players who do the brunt of the work and bring the stardom to the game, that they're able to market it to a multi-trillion-dollar business, right? They pay them in millions, but they make trillions. Anyhow, somebody said the other black players in the Super Bowl should have taken a knee with Colin Kaepernick, and if there was more solidarity in it, then we would have stood behind the players. I said no. No. The players used Colin as a gauge. He took a knee already? All right, let's watch him. I mean, we understand what he's saying, right? And it's about us. But let's watch him first and see how he gets treated. Are the people going to stand with him? Is the NFL going to crucify him? Is he going to lose his job? All this other stuff. It's hard to get to the pros. Hard. If it wasn't, all of us would be professional basketball players and stuff. Who wouldn't aspire to have a job that has a multi-million-dollar salary and can afford a lifestyle of mansions and private jets and stuff like that, and the fame that comes with it, right? It's hard to get to the NFL. So for a brother to just work his way up, most of these guys have been playing football like my son since they were 6 years old. So to finally hit that and then find something you want to stand on to where it doesn't even matter if you lose that, all that work you put in. That's a lot to ask of somebody. So they're not quick to give away everything they've worked hard for. And in most of their minds, they're right, because the people who they're going to lose their career for will be the same people who will be sitting there with their hot wings and their dipping sauce and a big bowl of cereal or a bowl of popcorn, enjoying the same Super Bowl, spending their money on same NFL products, laughing at the commercials. The next day, they're promoting it for free. Did you see that Super Bowl commercial last night where so-and-so was? So the people that stood up for you and lost everything standing up for you, you, on the other hand, goes, just move out of the way. I want to see the game. I'm here for the game. Yeah? That's how I feel about that. So I couldn't watch the Super Bowl. I would have loved to have watched the Super Bowl and enjoyed it, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. The only way I'll support the NFL again is if, and this is my personal stance, it's not like it's going to hurt their pockets or anything, but the message in this is black people need to understand economics. That's the only way we make effective change, is through economics. If you can affect that bottom dollar, then you have power. But the only way we can affect that bottom dollar is if we genuinely stand up for or stand behind something or stand on some principle that has something to do with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't have people going out here standing up for you. That's why when people tell me, SouFlo, do that video here about so-and-so, and I'm telling them like, yo, I know what troubles could come my way for doing that video. I have children to raise. I'm not ready to stick my neck out there like that yet, because me, I gotta talk the truth. And when I talk the truth, There are a lot of people out there who don't like truth talkers, especially if you go do your research and you get properly educated on the topic and you come spill some truth that is damaging to. That's why I tell people that, no, I got kids. And I know if I stick my neck out, yeah, I'm standing up for so-and-so and they cut my head off. Majority of the people that are talking that go SouFlo, do it, they wouldn't even send a postcard to my kids. And here are my kids. My daughter does dance, ballet, and jazz. My son plays football and does karate. As soon as Kai is old enough to do anything, he is gone. And look, right now I'm looking at a soccer program for Kai. You know what I'm saying? I invest in my children. So when them take me out, just like how they did Colin Kaepernick took a knee. Okay, he took a knee, and we had our own people that were saying stuff like, you could have chose a better time to do that or whatever. It is his constitutional right to peacefully protest. The man never hurt nobody. He never threw a ball at anybody's face. He didn't throw up a middle finger. He didn't verbally say F y'all, nothing. He simply took a knee. I watched Fat Joe get on and say, and he started that narrative, get on and say, well, what did the troops ever do to him? Why he taking a knee when the thing's playing? Why? Like, yo, I ride with Cap, but I'm not standing for that right there. Fat Joe. And I watch how many people support Fat Joe, watch him now, especially from the black community. The rapper Fat Joe. And nobody is saying, yo, you know, Joe, listen, man, we love your music and all that. You've been around for a minute, but check this. The reason Colin took his knee it doesn't have nothing to do with disrespecting troops, man. It's about this. And constitutionally, his right to peaceful protest. He can do that. So it's either we're going to take a knee with him or stand in solidarity with his message because it benefits our community. But see, Fat Joe is Hispanic. And that's where I be telling y'all that they flip sides whenever they feel like it. One day it's black and brown power. And the next day they say all that crazy stuff behind black back. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have no friends but ourselves. And then we seem to be our worst enemy at the same time. So we're out in the middle of the ocean in a little boat surrounded by sharks, pretty much. And we're not seeing that. I couldn't support that NFL stuff. I would really feel like I'm slapping that brother in his face because think of the guts that it took to actually look around a stadium full of people who you know are going to start throwing their juice cups at you and tell their kids to throw the bag of popcorn at you and boo, boo. And then they countered him by showing up with big signs that says real men stand and shit like that. And that was for us. Black men were getting killed disproportionately for doing absolutely nothing. Some of it was caught on video. The lady was in the car, remember, with her boyfriend. He has a licensed firearm. The police standing at the window. The police said to him, hey, he's at the window like this. Why? The guy wasn't wanted or anything. But that's how we're approached. That's what he took the knee for. Approach us like you approach those that look like you, man. That's all we're asking for. There's no need to have your hand on your gun because the next thing we go from here is fire because that's what you're trained to do. Stop intimidating us. Stop treating us like this, blah, blah, blah. That is what he took the knee for. And as we can see, that's still going on. And it's still going on because we make it go on. We don't support in the right way. And we abandon the people that stand up for us. It's just like when the whole march, George Floyd march, they out in the streets. Y'all seen that with white people that got killed, right? One fraction of white people saying, you know what they're saying in their mind, really. And another one saying, Black Lives Matter. Black life does matter. Imagine that, the white boy out there, Black lives does matter. I don't want to live in a world where Black lives don't matter. I don't want it to matter just like my life. Boom, gunshot. And I've seen black people say stuff like, oh, well, that's the sin of his grandfather coming back to haunt him. Or, oh, well, white on white crime has nothing to do with me. That person could have basked in their privilege and watched all that from the comfort of their couch. But while you weren't brave enough to get up and go out there, they did. Peaceful protest, as is guaranteed to all by constitutional laws, right? And lost their life. We run away from those who support us. We don't back them. And then we talk about more NFL players should have took a knee and should have stood up and do what? Lose their job? So you can forget about them while they have to figure out now how to take care of their family and maintain their lifestyle, while you're over there watching the next Super Bowl that comes around and forgot about them. Nah. Only time I'll support the NFL is when the NFL makes it public. A public apology to Kaepernick. And that apology should include why they did him the way they did him in the first place, and that they are ready to mend their ways, not only with him, but with the black community as a whole. And then do something towards that. Then I will say, okay, because everybody makes mistakes. They're raised a certain way. You know, the old system they came up under, blah, blah, blah. It influenced them. And a lot of them are elderly and wealthy, so they're out of touch with what our real life is. So they're ready to make some real fundamental changes. Now, you know what the NFL did? They splashed around some money. Oh, we're going to donate 1.5 million to the NAACP, and we're going to donate another 10 million over here to for some program for disenfranchised youths, and it tells you that these people are easily bought and sold. That's what they know. So we'll violate them, and then we'll just throw some money at them. What's a couple million to us? We make trillions. Just throw some money at them. Let them shut up. Here, throw some money at them. 250 million total. That's that. Throw some money at them. Let them shut up. In the grand scheme of things, not even one black life that was lost, that 250 mil couldn't cover. Because if you ask a mom, we'll give you this 250 mil, or we'll bring back your 19-year-old son. That mom who loves her son, that black mom, she would say, keep your 250 mil. If you could bring my son back, bring him back. So it don't even equate one life. And if you look at how much they're worth and what they gave, then it's a big joke and an even bigger slap in the face. So that reparations money, hey man, I won't put reparations on the NFL. That's a whole different ballgame. But I'm saying, when you don't support the people that stand for you, man, this is what it looks like. And we do this all the time. And I had to use it as an example to show you people, because when people come talk about, oh, and we're still under the gun and they still have their foot on our necks and we're still not getting ahead like we're supposed to, because it's you. It's not it's you. It's not them. Whoever them is, we already know how them do and what them do. So it's time to counter that with something productive. Design a way to get around that. And one of the ways to get around that is economic empowerment. Your dollar counts. But we don't understand that your dollar counts stuff. We want to be involved in everything that they got going on. We over here crying for their Oscars. Oh, they haven't given so-and-so an Oscar. She's such a great black actress. Or we crying for their music awards. How come so-and-so didn't get a Billboard? How come so-and-so didn't get a Grammy? How come so-and-so? These are none of these are our stuff, but we want to be involved in their stuff so much that we'll sacrifice all of who fights for us to get in there and to be considered as a part of that, but their establishment, what they have going on. Economic empowerment. Make them respect your dollar. Make them respect your dollar. When they play, I turn the TV off, or I go watch something else. I don't want to see no halftime game. I don't want to see none of. I don't want to see no halftime performance. Oh, the weekend. Somebody said the weekend was on there, and it was like a bunch of crazy stuff with face masks. It looks kind of devilish. I don't know. That's the hype they use to draw you in, because that's all you are. You're entertainers for them, athletes and entertainers. When you're in that box, you're good. Athlete, entertainer. You must entertain me at all times. But we can make them respect us by making them respect that dollar, because that's what they understand, the dollar. That's it. They don't understand nothing else. You can't go with violence, because they get very violent as well. So you'll just have a bunch of people violently clashing, and we're outnumbered already. What do you think is going to happen? It's the dollar. It is said that the black community is the highest earning community. The highest earning community. But majority of them are among the poorest. Barely making it, hand to hand living. Majority of black people right now who are working class, if they lost employment for 6 months, they will become homeless. Majority of them, it's said if they lost employment for 2 paychecks, they will be in big trouble. And you know why? Somebody said, SouFlo, if you want to see a little ghetto kid's college money, look in his closet, because his mama been making sure he had Jordans since he was little and bow-legged and couldn't even walk right. And she raised him that way, and all through his teens, he got all those stuff. You dress fresh as hell, or what they call fresh as hell. That sneaker right there, $250. That's the new Jordans that just came out. Retro 4 edition, 12, blah, 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 whatever. He got them. See it on his feet right there? We don't understand economic empowerment, the power of our dollar. And until we understand that, we'll always be somebody's footstool. But when we get that right, it's going to be problems. If we ever get that right. If we ever get that right. We're at the top of the morning this morning. SouFLoTV, morning thoughts. Shout out to all the people who tuned in this morning. Have a wonderful day. We're going to end it right here. And I'm going to go make a thumbnail for this video so it's more attractive and all this other stuff. Big up on yourself and thank you for being here. Tony and Campbell Brown, manners and respect, and thank you for being here. Unity Walker, yes, we can buy Jordans and all this bullcrap. Well, people are still suffering. Yeah, $200 and something dollar shoes, $200 and something dollar shoes for a little kid. And then when it's time for him to go off to college, you don't have a penny to give to him. And he's been getting these types of shoes his whole life. So we don't understand. And I'm not just hitting out at Jordan, because if anything, I would rather to see you in Jordans than to see you in, and I couldn't even say Louis Vuitton, because people are now being placed strategically inside of brands to make sure that you spend your dollar with that brand. One time gone, we weren't in any of these brands on any level. I think Louis Vuitton now has this young black designer. I mean, he's bad when it comes to designing clothing and stuff, and you know their wares. Hassel Daniel, I appreciate you greatly. Thank you. They've placed him in. Gucci has done it, placed him in an executive position, and so on and so forth. So now we're thinking, oh, so they are supporting it. But no, they always do that stuff. Always do that stuff. The big comeback story, I guess, of the NFL was Antonio Brown. And he was supposed to give thanks to whoever that guy name is, that quarterback that supposedly saved him and gave him a sense of stability. And now he won the Super Bowl when everybody wrote him off and all this other stuff. They always say one. It's just like this. Over here, animal cruelty. Animal cruelty. But they take these big trips, hunting trips. Go look it up. Go to Africa and shoot down the same animals that they're saying no poaching, no nothing. Now, these people got these animals on their land. And you fly way over here to tell us no poaching and make up laws that get people imprisoned and killed and all this other stuff. But you're coming back with the ivory tusk so you could put it on your wall, and you're coming back with this big lion head and you're going to get it stuffed and put on your wall. And yeah, when I was in Africa on my last safari, I killed the big 500-pound lion. And it's cool for you. Yep. Rising Phoenix, you got it right. But anyhow, shout out to y'all, man. Thank you for being here. Stay up. And like I said, my challenge is, and my wife first put this challenge out. I got it off her channel. My challenge to you is buy black for 30 days straight, or support a black business for 30 days straight. If you can't buy black because everything around you is sold by others, then I can't fault you for that either. We need to become manufacturers of the things that we need. We can't manufacture everything, but we can barter with other communities that manufacture the other things that we don't need. We need to get back to that type of a place. Anyhow, my challenge is not the silhouette challenge. It's not the break a neck challenge. It's not the torque challenge. My challenge is buy black for 30 days straight. And if you can't buy black for 30 days straight, support a black business for 30 days straight. All right? If it's even a patty, go pick up a patty. A sandwich, a juice is $1. This is how you give $30 to this one company. Every day, go in there and pick up one juice when you pass. $1 juice. Morning, babe. Do it online. Buy black online. Nice one. Them know it's our low self-esteem, and them drive us to buy these designer things. That drives us to buy these designer things. It's not even low self-esteem, man. It's more like it's a kind of brainwashing that goes with it. Think about the levels. I was gonna end the video, but my wife just jumped on, so I think I'm gonna talk for about 5-10 more minutes. Think about the levels that it takes for you as a black person to equate success with everything that you owned is white. White designed, white manufactured, white name on it, white. And only when you are able to achieve these things is when you say you're successful. Most black men are not successful or don't feel successful until they own a Mercedes-Benz, German, a BMW, German. And if they're really getting money and they really go up and start calling all those other names, none of them are, you know what I'm saying? You don't feel like you're doing it big or you're successful or you look good until you put on a Louis Vuitton or a Hermes, whatever the names are out there that they get into. I'm stuck on FUBU, for us, by us. But whatever the names it is that they get into, Gucci, European men own these. And Kanye West told us that they own all the factories that manufacture. So as a black person, you can't even own a factory. You have to come up under them. And they won't lease or sell it to you. Don't care how much money you come with. They would rather pass it off for free to their own. What does that tell you? The country continues to show blacks that we are not respected. That's because blacks continue to show the country that they don't respect them damn selves. Woo, that hurt, but it's true. That hurt, but it's true. So when we start showing them that we respect ourselves, is when they'll start respecting us. We could do this all day, you know. Police don't kill more blacks than blacks kill blacks. So forget about the police doing it, or forget about whoever else is killing us. We kill us faster and more. How is that showing anybody that we respect us? They use their last to buy brands just to boast on others. That's what we do, because that's what we're programmed to do. And half of the time you see what I remember Alicia Keys said a long time ago. Alicia Keys said, I'm not attracted to, this is before she even got with Swiss Beats. She says, I'm not attracted. Y'all know who Alicia Keys is, right? She said, I'm not attracted to a guy with a nice Mercedes Benz or a Range Rover with big shiny rims on it, and he's in fancy brands, Gucci, Prada, and all that other stuff. That's not what attracts me. And his teeth are like veneers, straight and shiny and all that. She said that's not what attracts me, and that actually tells me something about him that I'm not attracted to. He spent so much time making sure that vehicle is so clean. I know he's not about no real business, she said. She said, I don't mind a brother with a dirty truck because it tells me he stays on the go, right? She tells me he's getting somewhere. I don't need to see him in all that fancy clothes because the clothes don't make him, that kind of stuff. We haven't evolved above that or beyond that yet. So a majority of us, success is, yeah, and when you get the one car and you shine it up on you, and enough women get tricked like that too, you know, man with fancy car and all these things, enough man get tricked like that too, because that's all they have, and they show it on Front Street, and it must be well maintained at all time to advertise, and they feel like this is what makes them feel good, but that is in a sense low self-esteem for real. But it's deeper than low self-esteem alone. It's a kind of a programming that's very much well put in place. You have to have these things to feel like you've arrived. And you're showing off to people who don't even care about you like that. They don't care. Nobody cares what shoes you have on. You're in a club, right? And the club is dark. Who's going to see if your shoes are real Gucci or not? Who's going to see what type of shoes you have on and how much they cost or not? I heard somebody say the people who you're trying to show off for, they don't even know what the hell you got on because they're not able to afford those things. They don't even aspire to have those things. And then the people who can afford those things, they're not paying no attention to you either because they can already afford those things. So they're not impressed by it. You know? So spend your, that's another thing. And we're talking about economic empowerment, right? Economic empowerment. So spend your money on something that will appreciate in value, not depreciate in value. Shoes, clothes, car, all that stuff, those will depreciate in value swiftly. As soon as you take it out the store, value gone. As soon as you drive it off a parking lot, value gone. Within a year of owning that vehicle, it's $10,000 less than what you paid for it before. 2-3 years from owning that vehicle, you can't get that vehicle to sell for half the price. I've seen people actually buy a vehicle brand new, take out big payment. I was telling my son yesterday while I was dropping him to karate that there was a female that I used to work with and her car payment was over $600 per month. And she had a nice Audi. She had a nice Audi. And this is while we are doing therapy, working as a therapist. We already make a decent living working as a therapist. So she's hiding away from the facility, taking a break, scheduling her patients way out so she can have break to go do Uber with her Audi. And I asked her, I said, why are you doing Uber? Like, you pick people up and really drop them off? She got the Uber thing on her car. She said, yeah, I got to pay for this car, man. What? You got to pay for the car. So you got to take a break during the day to run Uber. She's on these people clock and she's running Uber to make that $600 and something a month payment just so she could drive around in a brand new Audi. She actually said, when I show up to the party or when I show up to the club, nobody know about that. They see my car. Whoa. And I'm of such a different mind frame. And there I was driving a 1997 truck. 1997. I take my 1997 truck, I take it to the shop. I make sure I get a good mechanic. The good mechanic does everything all on and through the truck. I drive that truck from Florida, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Texas, all over the place. This one truck. And I'm flying past brand new vehicles sitting on the highway. Because when you out there on them highways, it's going to be a long time before you get some help. And I'm flying by these people with their nice looking vehicle. And sometimes I look and I'm like, yo, you know, you could upgrade, right? My mom been telling me for years now, upgrade now? No. I watch people take on these car payments and get stressed out. So you could drive a car that nobody cares about, because as soon as you buy the Audi, guess what pulls up? A Maserati. And people looking at the Maserati, they're not even looking at your Audi no more. Especially here in the US where I live most of the year. Come on now. You will go broke trying to impress people. And you will never impress them truly, because there's always something or someone more impressive right by. She was young. She was young. She's a young therapist. I give her credit. She went through school. She got a degree. She got all her training. She's certified. She is qualified, and she does her job well as a therapist. But to see her sneaking out of a facility to go run Uber, talking about, hold me down, I'll soon be back. If my patient so-and-so comes, could you stall them for a minute or have them to go run Uber? She's got her phone at work while treating patient. Oh, call came in. She got to go pick somebody up. Drop somebody over here, make some quick money. Man, there's nobody paying you enough. I've been in Uber. I pay Uber. What, you're paying $10 to get from here to there, then $5 or $7 or $20, however far you're going. How much? You know how many trips you're going to have to run with that Audi? Like, she really never thought this out. I was just amazed. I can't make this stuff up. I was just amazed. So when I say I see people that do this stuff, I've seen people that do this stuff. And this was not long ago. This was recently. I've only been a therapist. This is my 5th year. So I've only been a therapist for 5 years. So a recent thing me I talk about. So spend your money. This is economic empowerment is the only way anybody is going to pay anybody any attention, or you're going to get the attention you deserve or need to further yourself. That goes for us as individuals. That goes for us as a people, period. Period. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Darren B, for facts. I'll ride it till the wheels fall off. I make sure it's mechanically sound, and I'll ride it till the wheels fall off. I go to bed comfortably knowing that I don't have a car payment that's stressing me. Damn, I gotta lock my vehicle up and hide it somewhere because I can't make this month's payment. But as soon as I get my checks in, I'll make the payment. But in the meantime, the repo man is driving around with that tow truck looking for my car. So I gotta hide it and go ask somebody to drop me to work or take taxi until I get the money and pay the. In that dot. For what? For what? I drive out comfortable every morning in my 1997, and it purrs like it's brand new because it's well maintained. Boom, one key turn starts, and I'm off. And it don't take much to change out the parts. I put a starter in there. I put a matter of fact, I had that truck so long, I put a new transmission in it. And I sourced the transmission from a rebuilt transmission place. And this transmission is guaranteed for another 100,000 miles with a warranty. Paid $300 and something for that transmission. And I put that transmission in about 7 years ago. And I'm riding that truck still. $300 and something for the transmission, about $350. A rebuilt transmission. And I think I paid another $350 to $400 to get it put in. $700, brand new transmission, riding 7 years later still. No transmission problems. And I've seen people pay $600 a month for 5 years straight. And your car got old. Nobody looks at it anymore. You're stuck with the payment. Your car is now set. That's the old Audi you driving in. Ain't nobody impressed. Because somebody now pulls up in the one that's 2021 and 2020. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Money well spent, Tony Ann. Facts. I like to see my money in my account, man. I like to, when I check my account, because I got kids. I have 6 kids. When I check my account, I like to walk away from the ATM like, because I'm okay. Not saying I just hit the jackpot and I looked and it was bare zeros and millions. That's not the case. But I don't have stuff that's stressing me to where I'm like, oh God, I don't know how I'm gonna pay for this and trying to maintain an image out the road. Like, don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. It's one of the biggest mistakes that we make. And a lot of us do it. Some people say SouFlo. Let people alone, make them want to spend their money or them want to spend their money. Then if my message ain't for you, then it won't reach you. But the people that can resonate, somebody needed to hear this morning because you're a bit of a spender. You're a bit of a spender. But some part of you want to change and want to be disciplined. So the message is for you this morning. Start buying stuff that appreciates in value, not depreciates in value. And you'll be on the right track. All right? With that said this morning, we're going to end it right here. I could probably actually hear Kai. Big up on yourself, people. Thank you for tuning in. Manners and respect to each and every one of you. This is about empowerment. This is about love. This is about fun. I thank you. I appreciate you for coming out early in the morning, giving me something to do and be a part of your life, starting of your day. That's a big honor. I appreciate you greatly. All right. Catch you tomorrow morning on Morning Thoughts. And if there's anything that you want me to talk about, leave it in the comment section. Yo, SouFlo, you see this? Talk about this, SouFlo. I haven't done a Dear SouFlo, and my Dear SouFlos are so backed up right now. I think it's time that we get back into Dear SouFlo. Matter of fact, check this out. I'm going to grab my board, and I'm going to remind myself that we're going to do 2 Dear SouFlos because I got so many of them backed up. 2 Dear SouFlos tomorrow morning. And you don't want to miss this one. All right? 2 Dear SouFlos tomorrow morning. You don't want to miss that one. Big up on yourself, people. Spread some positive vibration throughout the day, yes? All right. Bless. Peace.